Welcome to the place where brains collide with science, wit, and a nerdy vibe. I'm Dr. Angel. Let's dive in where psychology meets a clever spin. Stay curious, be kind, and keep your mind nerdy.
Have you ever felt like someone's keeping this secret, like emotional spreadsheet? Like, I made dinner for you last week, so you owe me like 3 hours of uninterrupted attention and like zero disagreement. It's like being in a relationship with like an IRS agent who only audits your feelings. That's not love. That's emotional accounting. And that's toxic. Welcome back to Nerdy Psychology. I'm Dr. Angel, and you've landed on our third episode of our deep dive into the sneaky, draining world of toxic relationships. If you're just joining, definitely go back and catch episodes 1 and 2, where we unpack red flags and, that fine print of manipulation. This episode, we're going to talk about emotional transactions, how guilt, obligation, and, scorekeeping can masquerade as caring. Because if you're always in emotional debt, you're not in relationship. You're in a hustle. Go breathe. Grab something to get cozy and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share this with someone who needs permission to stop over explaining their worth. Let's get nerdy. Is glass half broken mentality. So everything is a complaint, a comparison, a catastrophe. Again, we know those people because they were up on one of the toxic traits, draining us out. So you announce you're pregnant and the response is, well, good luck. You're never going to sleep again. So like the long-term effect of this is they just teach you to like dull your joy. This glass half broken mentality, it's toxic because it constantly focuses on, what's wrong, what's missing, what's likely to go wrong. And it snuffs out hope, joy, connection, instead of celebrating wins and offering encouragement. This mindset filters everything through, pessimism, criticism, fear, and over time, it leaves people or friends feeling so emotionally drained. They feel invalidated. They don't want, who wants to share happy news when you're just going to suck the happiness out of my news, no matter what it is? You could say the lottery man showed up on my door and gave me millions of dollars, and this person would have something, just flip that script right around. And so knowing things will be likely met with criticism, skepticism, negativity, it creates this dynamic where it suffocates and it slowly erodes even the strongest and healthiest of bonds. Because this is one of those ones that it is like erosion. I like that word in this situation because it's slowly tearing it apart over time, and more it takes from that relationship. The next one is gossiping about others. Okay. If they gossip to you, they'll gossip about you. Remember that. If they're coming to you to tell you all the tea about all the people in your friend group or church group or family group or whatever group, work group, they're telling your stuff to all of them as well. So they tell you things a mutual friend said in confidence. Well, she told me this, but you can't tell anybody because she told me not to tell anybody. And then suddenly your trust shifts, and so should your boundaries. Gossiping about others, it might feel like harmless chatter, but in relationships, it signals serious trust issues, like serious trust issues. If someone regularly is spilling other people's secrets, especially, it's only a matter of time before yours are next. That creates that toxic environment where connection is built on, again, tearing people down, tearing others down instead of lifting each other up. And again, over time, that erodes, again, the word erodes, because this is one of those time things that trust, and it breeds drama and chaos and conflict. And it teaches everyone involved that, well, first of all, loyalty is conditional and performative and not real. So, how do we know? How do we tell the difference between gossip and like genuine concern or advice seeking? Like, there are big differences, and sometimes on the surface, it can look very similar. And so, gossip, one of the things we're going to look at is the intent in gossip is really just about giving someone else that information. It's to judge or to mock or to bond over someone else's struggles or choices or mistakes. There's no consent when we're talking about gossip. The person being discussed is not a part of the conversation. They wouldn't feel safe if they heard this conversation. They would probably feel very disrespected if they knew this conversation happened. The content. So when we're looking at gossip, the content is speculative, exaggerated, and really focused on the drama. The tone of someone's voice can definitely tell you so much about what's happening. And when we're hearing gossip, that tone becomes condescending, amused, superior. And so just paying attention to that tone. And then purpose, like venting emotion without any goal, no resolution. I'm not looking for help or advice. I'm just putting this information out into the universe. So, an example. Did you see how out of control she was at that party? Honestly, I don't know how she embarrasses herself like that. So, is that genuine concern or seeking help? No, it's not. And it's judging someone and making them feel bad. So, how do we know when someone is giving information in a genuine, authentic way? We're going to kind of break that down a little bit here. So, intent is really important. We're looking for support or insight or a different perspective, or maybe next steps or something we can do to change a situation or help a person or enter into a conversation. So, this type of discussion is not shaming the person, it's not mocking them, it's not relishing on their mistakes or their choices or their circumstances. When we have genuine concern, that content is grounded in facts and it's framed with empathy, concern. It's given as objective as possible. It has a purpose to reflect, to find resources or ideas or solutions or decide a best way to do something. The tone comes as protective, it comes humble, it can come concerned. So you might hear someone come to you with, I'm honestly worried about her. She's just really not acting like herself, and I don't want to overstep. Do you think I should say something? Or have you noticed anything too? That is someone coming to someone not out of gossip, but out of genuine concern and looking for ways to support that person. And so there can be fine lines between gossip and genuine concern. And sometimes they get very blurred and they cross over each other. And so when in doubt, go back and look at, what's that intent? What are the words? What's the purpose? Are we trying to do something or a resolution or help? Or is this for pure entertainment or to make us feel better about ourselves or make us feel like, oh, okay, we're not as bad as that person is, so we're good. Watch the motivation. The next one is minimizing your wins. So when somebody constantly downplays, dismisses, or undermines your accomplishments, it's not humility, that's toxic. And it's toxic in disguise. Instead of celebrating with you, they respond with sarcasm or indifference or subtle jabs that just like makes your success feel like something you should apologize for. So like example, like you finally get accepted into like graduate program that you've like really been working really hard for. Like you sacrifice hanging out with friends or doing things on the weekends so that you can study, so that you can really kind of make this goal happen, and you get in, and then must be nice not to have bills holding you back like the rest of us. Like they take that and diminish that accomplishment, and then suddenly like you feel guilty, like I have some kind of, like you have this privilege that this other person doesn't have, so it's really not an accomplishment, you're just privileged or lucky. And so when you start feeling that turn into guilt or something negative, that can definitely be very wearing on you, especially when there are those kinds of goals that you really put your purpose and sacrifice, and then to have it diminish like that, so toxic. Or like if you lost weight, like you lost 15 pounds and you went down clothing size and you just feel healthy and you feel amazing and you're feeling more confident, and your friend's like, don't lose weight, you're gonna look sick. Like what felt as positive and energizing for this person now feels tainted with like shame, maybe even making them question themselves. And I can tell you, I get people who come in here and they question, do I have an eating disorder? Because my friend's telling me that I'm just too thin, and they're not, and they're in a healthy weight, and they're in a healthy BMI, and they have healthy eating patterns, and they're eating healthy foods. And no, but people can make us even question those things about ourselves. Or if someone gets promoted and their friend's like, the eye roll. Okay, I don't know if you can see that in the camera. I got an eye roll going, probably not a good one. Well, they'll just promote anyone these days, won't they? What? What? Where is, you know, I'm happy for you, or giving you like acknowledging maybe you earn this because you're working hard and you've taken on more work and you're going over and beyond, or however the promotion happened. And so you're left like, did I deserve this? Did I earn this? Like, what? So, why these are toxic? They minimize your wins. It's not just a lack of enthusiasm, it's a subtle form of like emotional control. It like literally smothers your joy. It smothers the positive emotions. And I'm just gonna be honest, this world has got way too much not positive emotions that are happening around us. And everywhere we go, we the news is negative. Things are unstable with like the economy, or people feel like they're unstable with that. Jobs might be at risk. People are going through difficult times, maybe having financial issues or health issues. And like there's so many things around us that are real and they're heavy. And to have those moments of joy and those moments of pride and those moments of happiness, and to have someone just snuff that light out so other people don't feel bad about themselves or uncomfortable. And so it teaches you to do the same thing, to minimize any success you have, to minimize anything good in your life. You like try to hide it. And over time, not only you're not going to share the good with others, it's going to make you second guess the good in your own life. And maybe even, and I've watched this happen to people, sabotage their own success to avoid triggering someone else's insecurity. Yeah, well, if I go to that school, it's really going to make my girlfriend feel bad because she couldn't get in. So I don't want her to feel bad. So I'm not going to go. Excuse me? What? We can't dim our light for someone else's feelings or insecurity. That's not okay. And we need those positive moments. Those are what helps keep us healthy and strong and resilient, because life has to have those moments of good and serious and all kinds of things around us. And we can't just take the good out and think we're going to be okay. We're not going to be okay. And so we need to be careful about those people that are doing that in our life. If you've been nodding along this whole series, hit that subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and stay tuned. We've got more nerdy, heart healing episodes coming your way. And if you missed any part of these episodes, check them out at the end screen so you can catch up on what you missed. Every episode is packed with great information and tips to help you learn and start your healing journey. And as always, stay curious, be kind, and keep your mind nerdy. See you next week.
Stay curious, be kind, and keep your mind nerdy.